Robert, did you consider doing any sort of a rewrite to the script after the Arizona law? And also, since we're at Comic-Con, is there any truth to you being involved with a Deadpool project?
Okay, wait, what was the first question?
Deadpool.
Oh, I'd already shot all of
Was there any reshoot you could do after the Arizona law?
No, not after that. I did finish some scenes that I hadn't finished, mainly of Danny just going chopping more people up. But no, not at all. It really doesn't tie into that. There was a trailer I was able to cut to show. One of the characters is very similar. It's De Niro's character, and it's not the full story. That's just his sideline story. Is that he just takes a very real issue that he doesn't have an answer for and exploits it to divide people in order to get more votes. Really, when that's all it's for. It's not. It's just grandstanding. It's political grandstanding. I thought I was doing something fictional. I didn't think it really happened in real life, but obviously it does. But no, it's a very fun movie, and there's nothing to change because it's not a political movie. Because when you see, we'll look at it a little bit tonight, you'll see. But as far as Deadpool, they did let me read an early draft of the script. It hasn't really gone out yet to people, so I got the privilege of doing because I was working on Predators. But no, I haven't decided if I would actually develop that or not.
Cool.
Now, speaking on, you mentioned unity with films and all this, the controversy going on with the immigration laws. What do you guys feel about like filmmaking and using that to combat civil injustice and ignorance? And have you guys thought about getting involved to kind of counteract a lot of the ignorance that's been going on?
Well, it's not anyone's fault that there's ignorance. It's a very complicated issue, and it's people have a very visceral reaction to it. There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of sides to it, and what's most troubling, everyone wants an answer to it. Who wouldn't want it to be solved? And that's why there is such a strong reaction. When someone stands up and says, "I have a solution," people would get behind that person. But if it's a bogus solution, then that's where it's wrong-headed. Because there is no border. I mean, anyone who I live towards the border, I know the border very well. It's just this idea that you can put up a Berlin or a wall or a Great Wall of China. It just shows that how Washington doesn't get it. So there's a lot of things that people need to know about the real issues, about just the enormous amount of corruption that goes on. And no one's really willing to tackle that. So to grandstand and to make it look like you're taking a stance for political reasons just to get more votes, it gives people a false hope that there is a solution, and when actually they're really not doing anything about it. Just another way to not do anything about it for a long time, which is very frustrating for everybody.
And as far as like making movies about the subject matter, the only way you could ever get away with addressing situations like that is through comedy, I feel, or through exploitation films. Just make your statement. People agree with certain aspects of it. You can voice both sides of the story, and just make an entertaining film about it. Maybe it'll inspire people to, take action. Maybe it won't. But at the end of the day, I really feel it's not the entertainment industry's role to play in politics. It's the entertainment industry's role to imitate life, because it is an art form, But I just feel that when you start getting too political with things, you're Oliver Stone. You know what I'm saying? So go be Oliver Stone. Go hang out with him and make movies with him. He's cool. I like him.
Robert,
very political.
Given your approach to filmmaking and like be a rebel filmmaker, if you want to make a movie, just make a movie. What do you think about YouTube, and are people in Hollywood going to be looking to YouTube for like independent filmmakers now that anybody can take a digital camera and upload their short?
Asking about YouTube and independent filmmaking and what does that do? I mean, I love that it just opens up. We were just talking about that, seeing the cameras that people can use and make a very professional looking movie. I've shot with those; they look amazing, and you can make very polished looking product that can be beat. It really comes down to what it's always been about: is the idea, story, and so Hollywood's always looking for people who can tell a good story. So that opens up the playground and the viewing beyond even film festivals. Then that's fantastic.
Are there any other comic properties that you'd be interested in getting your hands on?
Other comic properties I might want? No, at least none I can talk about.
Whatever happened to Red Sonja?
Red Sonja was being done by Millennium, who decided originally they wanted to do Red Sonja first and then Conan, but then they decided, then they switched and said, well, let's do Conan first and then follow it.
Are you still doing the Jetsons?
Am I doing the Jetsons? No, I developed it for a while, but then ended up doing machete.
Thank you. You have a lot of knives and guns. What's your favorite gear?
Favorite gear?
Yes.
I think that modified gun you see there, the invention of the props unit, I think is my favorite weapon. So, I mean, other than his machetes, of course. But those are his weapons, and I don't get to play with his machetes, so.
How about just in your own life?
Oh, in my own life? Am I a big weapons fan?
No, just gear, like computers, watches, cars, anything.
Oh, geek gear. Yeah, for sure. I love anything Steve Jobs makes up, but I hate the fact that he makes me wait for the good stuff. Quad processors, or a damn freaking camera, or USB, like, on the iPad. I mean, come on. Just a little USB attachment. Give me a break, you know what I'm saying? I want to add some memory to this 34 little bit of gigs I got here. So, I do get frustrated sometimes when, I'm racked up with a bunch of cheap waiting for, the next product, knowing that they could do way better right now with the capabilities they have. Why don't they just release it? But I guess they got to make money, so I'll be patient.
Do you have a question? And
So the machete mode is a tool that's always been kind of associated with more for revolt and revolution. I was wondering if you kind of work that mythology into any of the characters or the role, or is it just a badass weapon to kill people?
It's a badass weapon that does take on that very symbolic meaning you'll see at the end of the movie. Yeah, when everyone's holding up the machete after they've conquered a particular problem they have, it's a very small problem, but it speaks to a very universal problem.
Where, let's see, like in history, where do they use that machete? I mean, Vietnam, South America, the cartels, where else?
Probably in the jungles back in the 30s, I would think. Yeah.
Cuba.
Do you guys see Machete as being a possible franchise? Like, is this something you would want to do continuation?
We'd always said, it'd be Machete, and then there would be Machete kills, and Machete kills again. And you always got to end with Machete in space. That the last one. He said, it starts with Machete hanging onto a rocket ship outside of a rocket ship.
Doesn't it crack you guys up when he puts that voice? I always crack. That's awesome.
You can sell anybody on anything. That voice. It's the voice that sells and makes you go to the theater.
Nice.
All right, guys, that's all.